Happy Sunday, y'all.
Happy Sunday.
Thank you so much for being here. Welcome to Spiritually Uncuffed. My name is Reverend Casey Taylor. I use they, them pronouns. And some of y'all know that I picked up this little trick from Tasha when she was running the show for the month of May of identifying the session flow, of what to expect. Maybe one day we'll have these printed out so y'all like literally have a program in your hands. Maybe one day we're taking all things one moment, one step, one breath at a time. So this is where we are, where you at least get an introduction at the top of Spiritually Uncuffed, what to expect. So many of you know we had our sound bath at 12:30. We have the sound bath every Sunday at 12:30 on this side of the room. Y'all got the memo, and you're here in the other side of the room where we have Spiritually Uncuffed at 1 o'clock. And over the course, between 1 and 2, this is what we'll do. I am your musician today. We've got Trey Gee who will be speaking. So after, I'm going to do an opening song, and I'm going to invite you to sing with me. And there are drums back there. My drum is the green drum. Please leave that for me because I haven't played it yet. This will be the inaugural performance of me playing this drum that I just got. I will likely put this mic down for the purposes of like group singing and have my hands free for the drum. We'll see what I do. So we're gonna do an opening song together that's super easy. And then we are going to, I'm realizing that we're gonna have to do our opening song a cappella because like I don't have that cued, but y'all sung this song enough where you'll get it and you'll pick up on it and sing along with me. So, opening song, then we're going to speak our vision and mission together. We're going to move through prayer and meditation where Mary Lee is giving us a little meditative message and prayer. Then Trey Gee will speak. We'll do conscious giving. I've remembered it is actually in the slides this week, so we will have our conscious giving this week. Won't be an afterthought at the very end. Sing our gratitude song, do some announcements, which are also included. It's no longer a mystery as it was last week. And sing our closing song together. So that's what we're doing. Any thoughts, questions, feelings before we proceed and sing our opening song together? All right, I'll take your no for an answer. So I'm moving this down for myself because I'm gonna get a chair and ask somebody if they can hand me my green drum because y'all are amazing. We're gonna sing this song together, a cappella, and I'm gonna remind you what it is so that it's not a big old secret. You're not like, what song are we singing together? We'll pull it up. Precious Human Life. Thank you so much. So many of you may remember that. You want to come sing this with me? You're welcome to, whatever you want. How do you want to do this mic situation? Do you want to just be on the mic solo and I pick it up for you? Look at me putting you literally on the spot. What do you want?
Nina. I should probably hold the mic.
All right, you go hold the mic. I'm with it. Here's the stand. You do what you want to do with it, and we're going to do it a cappella. You ready? Y'all ready? Okay. Feel free to grab a drum. There are drums all in the back. So many drums in the back there. Yes, move. Grab your drum. Grab your drum. Wait, pitch. There you go. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Y'all ready? Got your drums? Feeling the rhythm? All right, here we go. Thanks for holding it for me on Win It, Win It.
Really got us going.
Appreciate y'all. Feel free to hold on to the drums. We're going to be drumming throughout this whole situation. Anytime y'all have me on music, that's going to be the thing, because many of you know I am not a musician. So we making it do what we do. And we will sing along. And also, what it gets to do is we get an opportunity to have some songs that we repeat, that we get an opportunity to learn and sing together, to recognize that you don't have to be a professional to lead Spiritually Uncuffed, because the whole concept of Spiritually Uncuffed is that we are not bound to the ways that spiritual expression usually works. Of like, the minister who's had lots of training is the only person who's qualified to provide any kind of inspiration. Or the professional musician is the only person who's qualified to be able to lead us in community song. It's this recognition that what it means to be uncuffed means that we are breaking off the chains of expectations of spiritual community and recognizing that we all have value, that we are all important, which is a great reminder of our vision and mission statement, which I would love for you to speak along with me. And note that if these words don't vibe with you, feel free not to say them. If you have comments and feelings about our vision and mission statement, feel free to talk to me afterwards. So, feel free to speak this along. Affirm this with me. Let's do this together if you feel so inspired. We are a loving, inclusive community, joyfully expressing spirit. We honor, celebrate, and support each individual's awakening to their spiritual magnificence. We empower each other to create happy, healthy, abundant lives.
Cool.
All right. Mary Lee is going to come up and give us some words of inspiration. Thank you, Mary Lee. Yeah, feel free. Do you want to use the stand?
Yeah. Sure, that works better. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mary Lee Jones, your practitioner for today. And most of you are probably aware that the global theme for CSL for June is In Living Color. And today, June 8th, we've already alluded to it, is do what you want to do. As we continue our celebration of Pride Month, we are all invited to live authentically, out loud, and in color. I love who I am, trusting my higher self to guide me in every step. And the reading I've chosen for today is from June's magazine, Science of Mind. The articles were written by the Reverend Raymond Anderson. And what he put down for June 4th is the one that resonated with me to share today. It's titled Colorful or Colorless. Be uniquely you. Stand out, shine, be colorful. The world needs your prismatic soul. When we speak of this I am, we are speaking of the power that sustains life, of the intelligence that directs it, and the wisdom that governs it. We are speaking of that love, that warmth and color, which awakes to consciousness in our own being, promoting what we call personality. When we deny our power, we place opt to hide behind masks of guilt, shame, sameness, or insignificance. For any number of reasons, we bought into the lie that we are not good enough, not worthy enough to live a life of joy, health, love, and pleasure. As Nelson Mandela reminds us, there is no passion to be found playing small, in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living. If we believe all that science of mind teaches, why would we ever dim our light, vilify our darkness, close off our hearts, restrict our power, and opt for colorless rather than colorful living? Therein begins the adventure to our true magnificence. Do we truly believe, or are we simply convincing ourselves that we believe? Are we deluding ourselves? In the story of Noah's Ark, the rainbow is a symbolic representation of a promise from God, never again to destroy what it created. What if you are that promise? What if your life, your prismatic soul, is the promise that empowers and fuels the conviction that results in the manifestation of each statement of CSL's global vision? What if, for example, we live the meaning of this part of that vision? We envision a world where each and every person has enough food, a home, and a sense of belonging, a world of peace and harmony, enfranchisement, and justice. What if the brilliance that you are is the very thing that makes what we envision become what we experience? I am the promise the universe makes to itself in every moment, and I choose to radiantly live my life as an active divine embodiment of this promise. Ernest Holmes writes, "Nothing is real to us unless we make it real. Nothing can touch us unless we let it touch us. Refuse to have the feelings hurt. Refuse to receive anyone's condemnation. In the independence of your own mentality, believe and feel that you are wonderful. This is not conceit, it is the truth." For their own survival, LGBT plus people have learned to refuse to allow ignorant comments, restrictive legislation, and threats of physical violence prevent them from being who they are. They have often had to identify with pride within, while living in a world that doesn't support who they are authentically. Today, there are many countries where LGBT plus people are being actively targeted and persecuted, with the pride flag associated with colors of the rainbow. This group of people are a great example of people living in color. As Holmes writes, we all believe from coming out of our emotional intoxication and being ourselves. We are often given the advice to be ourselves, but sometimes that feels challenging to do. When we are not celebrated for authentic expression, we have a tendency to shrink ourselves to adapt to our environment. We are being invited to look at and heal any shame that we may be feeling around many parts of our identity that we have been reluctant to express authentically. It often requires courage to stand in our truth and own who we are. Authenticity creates the opportunities to surround ourselves with people who celebrate us as we are. Being ourselves attracts like-minded people into our lives. The more we express ourselves authentically, the more we inspire others to do the same. When we choose to have courage, our example creates a ripple of bravery and authenticity in our corners of the world. Creating a world that works for everyone involves celebrating others for being who they are while also advocating for our own freedom of expression. In honor of LGBT plus pride, this week offers a perfect opportunity to explore who we truly are. Is heteronormativity a deeply ingrained cultural value? Or do many of us, as Alfred Kinsey's research suggests, exist somewhere along the diverse spectrum of sexuality? Beyond sexuality, how many of us embrace a life of monogamy because it feels true to us, or simply because it's expected? Have we paused to reflect on our personal relationship with gender identity, considering how we express or understand it? Whether it's our sexuality, gender identity, or any aspect of ourselves that we're afraid to express, that hesitation is a divine appointment calling us toward greater authenticity. We were gifted our unique experiences to shine a light for those who are also hesitant to live their truth. When we summon the courage to be ourselves, we blaze a trail of authenticity and freedom for future generations. Embracing the full spectrum of who we are invites others to do the same. It may not feel like an easy choice to be who we are in a world that tells us it's wrong. As people practicing the science of mind, we may feel like a significant minority in our lives outside of the spiritual center. Our decision to show up and participate in science of mind communities might feel like an act of rebellion. This week, we are being invited to be ourselves in places we may be hesitant to share. We no longer have to participate in the old story that Centers for Spiritual Living is the best kept secret. Historically, our understanding of God could have been controversial, but today it's more common than ever. What's preventing us from doing what we want to do and sharing who we really are with the world? This week, we are being invited to come out of the spiritual closet and tell the world about our personal relationship with the divine. And on that note, I'll take us into prayer. God is the absolute reality and holy intelligence, the one infinite, all-encompassing being. God is wholeness, peace, joy, love, perfection, inclusion, diversity. As my mind is an individualization of God mind, I accept the idea that I am now thinking with the mind of God. The Spirit of God moves through me as my spirit of self-awareness and also moves through everyone present here and online. God is right where everyone here and online is as the glorious, divine light beings that they are. With the knowledge that everyone here and online is one with God, surrounded by acceptance of the existence of all the gifts, joys, blessings, and riches of the universe, I now speak my word. I realize and completely accept that the creative force of Spirit is moving through everyone here and online to shine their lights and express their true and authentic selves. This is their spiritual truth. And I see the shining of their lights and expression of their true and authentic selves as being everyone's, here and online right now. And I'm grateful for knowing this truth for everyone here and online. And I release this truth into the activity and infinity of the law, which always says yes, and is now done as I have declared it so deeply. And so it is.
And so it is.
Thank you, Mary Lee. I love the choices that you made. Especially, I wrote a whole lot of what Mary Lee read today, and I haven't read it since I wrote it a year ago. So to be able to sit and play with the camera while I heard these words back to me and like remembering the moments of what inspired me to say these things, and to also like hear them, to understand the significance of heteronormativity being brought up in the prayer and meditation portion of our service. That to me, like my heart just sings. The experience of serving in spiritual leadership means so much to me. I served on the Global Themes team last year, which is why I wrote that content, and I'm not serving on it for 2026. So none of the themes next year will have anything to do with me at all whatsoever. We will see what happens. I'm not even there for the last 4 years. I've had opinions. Our annual theme of Grand Rising came out of a personal experience that I had at CSU Youth Services, and this year's theme of Rising Higher, Growing Deeper adds to that. So no idea what 2026 is going to look like, but I'm grateful for the opportunity to have served on this team. And when I was having a conversation with my wife, Elle, about what the theme was today, and I said that do what you want to do is a line from the theme song of In Living Color, and this month's theme is In Living Color. And I started singing the theme song for her, and she was like, did you write this month? Like, because in the general scheme of the Centers for Spiritual Living, the odds of somebody choosing In Living Color and picking a line from the theme song in our entire organization, it's a big old spotlight at me. So grateful that we get to honor it in this way, and that I only had to speak on this theme last week. Next week I will be again. So we are in our process of celebrating and honoring this experience. So what I would love to do, Nina, again, this is optional. I'm going to leave this microphone just as it is. We're not going to do the bend down situation. So I'm going to leave this microphone right here. I'm going to play this drum. I'm going to invite us to sing a song together, and then Trey's going to come up and give us some words of wisdom around do what you want to do. But Nina, you are welcome to get on this mic and do the harmony of the song that we are doing. And I invite you to either follow along with me, follow along with Nina. This song is a round, so you have a choice. Do what you want to do. You got a choice as to what part you want to sing along with as we move into this experience together. Here we go. I sang this song while I was walking out my house today, so this is my theme right now. Feel free to grab a drum. We got a lot back. I am Trey, before Trey comes up here. So as I mentioned earlier, that the whole concept of Spiritually Uncuffed is that we are not bound by what we did last week, what we did last month, what the other Center for Spiritual Living centers are doing across the country, what this organization has looked like over the course of the last 70 years. We are truly operating from a place of letting Spirit lead. We are a spiritual community, joyfully celebrating Spirit. And what that looks like is that we honor, celebrate, and support the spiritual transformation that is expressing in each one of us. Trey and I met on the internet, just kind of like how Tasha got here. This same group, the Conscious Collective, OKC, Trey and I are both in. And in December, when our illustrious Joan Ackley stepped down as our music director, I went onto the Conscious Community Collective and said, hey, I need some musicians. And Trey reached out and I responded back. And Trey followed back up like in March or April or something like that, at a time where he was literally on my mind. I looked at his profile, I noticed the things that he'd said over the course of the last few months and wanted to invite him to come and do music for us. And I heard, he didn't even tell me this, I heard that he was interested in being a speaker here. And I heard it, I was like, bet, let me message Trey, see what's up. He asked for the themes, I sent him all of them, and this is the one that he picked. He was like, do what you want to do, that's my thing. So let's put our hands together and welcome Trey to Uncuffed. Your phone's up there too if you want.
Thank you so very much, and I'm actually probably going to read a few more poems. A little bit about me is I am a poet, and that's just kind of who I am. And the whole theme of do what you want to do spoke to me very clearly, because to me it's so much deeper than that. It's about being who you want to be. It's about being who you are and expressing that fully, right? And when you can come to understand yourself and know yourself more fully, then through your joy and your emotion and your excitement, you can actually do the things that you want to do, because you'll be called forward based off of who you actually are. We are taught in this life to repress ourselves in being our natural selves and doing what others are asking of us and following that path that is there, whether it be through religion, through school, through your parents, through everything. We've just learned and been conditioned to just be what others expect us to be and to do what is expected of us. But in all reality, when we live like that, that's what living in hell actually is. People misunderstand the concept of hell. What hell is not knowing heaven. It's separation. It's not knowing the God inside of you. It's not getting to know that part that lives deep within. There's been a misunderstanding in our lives. And I'll speak to you from many different aspects. I was born and raised a Christian. I've lost faith, regained faith, been through all sorts of faiths, been everywhere. I'm a combat veteran. I've been to hell. I know what that means. I know where it is, and it's in here. It's when you've done things that you deem unworthy, that make you feel less than. But that's simply not the truth. I came to an awakening and understanding, and I'm grateful for actually what's been shared today, because it's taken me in another different direction, even though I changed the message 3 times before I got here. Now we're going to speak about something else completely. But I came to understand who I am through the pain and through the heartache, through the separation, and coming to a point where I no longer wanted to be. And that, to me, is what happens when we listen to the world tell us what we should do, right? And so, thankfully, and I'm so grateful for this, but God taught me through my own breaking of my own heart what it is to love, to come to know and understand that all of us are going through our own experience, and it can be painful. but it can be joyous if we can learn to open up our heart and soften those walls and take them down. We build a barrier around ourselves for protection, but if we can learn to let that go and just be the love that we are, then we can share with one another the gift that is the joy of life, that is the joy of expression, joy of being. And don't get me wrong, there's going to be painful times, there's going to be challenging times, but when you've gone through enough of those that you break your heart enough that you break it wide open, as the great Rumi said, then you can soften up and love people exactly where they are and give them permission to be exactly who they are without them needing to change a thing. Do what you want to do means be what you want to be, which means allowing everyone to be who they are and where they need to be on their journey so that they can also come to know that love as well. But that love resides inside you. I just wanted to share, this is a poem I wrote the other day, and it expresses to me who we are, which is love, right? And an understanding deep inside you. And sometimes that comes from a painful place, but tears that flow like a river, joy in the breath of a breeze. Take an arrow from the quiver and pierce it through the heart of me. Let it all unfold as it's meant to be. Take my hand, walk away. Nothing changes unless you change. Though the faces aren't the same, only I remain. The only one that can't run away. But I'll use it all, fueling the fire. You can't burn away my heart's desire. Always becoming, I'll keep on loving who I am on the way to who I will be. Being who you are, accepting that as it is, but striving to become the greatest version of you that you can be. That's all that we can each do. To do what you want to do, you have to accept where you are. If you are the creator of your own reality, which I firmly believe that you are, right? If you are the creator of your own reality by your thoughts and your feelings, when you allow yourself to be as you are and accept it, that's how you can change. If you're pushing against that, if you're repressing who you are, if you're not being who you want to be out of fear of what someone else thinks about who you are, then you're going to keep recreating those suffering conditions in which you are living, right? You will be the creator of that feeling. But if you can quiet that mind, get into your heart, look inside, and accept that who you are exactly right now, just exactly as you are, is perfect in every single way. Love yourself the way that God loves you. That's how you get to do what you want to do. The fear subsides, the rejection, the animosity as we look at one another no longer is projected into your reality, right? So you can quiet the mind, get into your heart, and love yourself in the ways that you need to be loved. You can't look to an outside world for that. You can't look to see what this person thinks, what that person thinks about who you need to be and who you are. That will get you nowhere other than into your own suffering, being attached to that, right? That's the backbone of Buddhism, right? Attachment is the root of suffering, and we've been taught to sit here and look out into this world and see what do I need to be for you today? It doesn't matter. It does not matter. All that matters is, what is your joy? What does your heart say? Where does it guide you? And that cannot be wrong. It can't be. You have the Creator inside you. God is the fabric of being and the fabric of existence. It lives in each and every single one of us. If God is everywhere and all-powerful, then He resides in you and I. And we are all powerful creators. That is the truth that we are looking to distinguish. discover, as it said earlier, I am that I am. This world is a reflection. It is a mirror of the presence of who you are and who you are being. So if you want things to change, you look inside and you make the change that you want to do, not out of anger, not out of sadness, not out of anything other than love for yourself. It starts here. You cannot love another if you don't love yourself. You cannot expect another to love you if you do not love yourself. If we are living in a place where we are afraid of those thoughts that come to us from another, we're not living in love. We're not embracing who we truly are. All it takes is the courage to be who you are, and do what you want to do. I'm going to read another poem I wrote if I can figure out how to operate this thing.
Push the button. Just push the right button. There you go.
Bam.
Damn.
Do what you want to do. Be who you want to be. Cast aside all else and set yourself free. There is no room for the other where there is only me. Who will I discover as I come to be? Will I be the lover? Will the love be me? Will I judge my brother? Or will I let them be? Freedom lies inside the heart, where love, it knows we aren't apart. One. We are one. Where my eyes see through, my heart is just reflecting you. The fear of being loved. Love me. Love me. Well, let me love myself so I can set you free from the bondage of needing you to be somebody else. Free at last. Free at last. Set it all aside. I am free at last. That is the heart. Really, that's pretty much what I've got for you all today. Just one thing I'd like to leave you with is love is who you are. It's not something you need to do, something you need to become, something that is outside of you. It's the resonance of every cell, of every being, of your entire body, where you can rest in that and know that you, me, we're all the same thing. We're all just striving for our own joy. Allow yourself to go for that. Allow yourself to find that. And in doing so, you'll also allow everyone else to do the same, no matter what it is. And that is how we find ourselves in a better world, where we can all just love one another and try to understand each other as much as we can.
All right, Trey, snaps for the poetry. This is what I'm talking about with Spiritually Uncuffed. I'm confident. We have read poems that other people have written. I've done a Maya Angelou poem. I like to do Still I Rise during Black History Month. Just turns out like that. But I love that you brought in 2 poems that you wrote, and obviously the community vibed with them. So thank you so much for sharing your wisdom, for sharing your gifts, and I especially love that for me, coming into the Oklahoma City kind of spiritual community, that I've met so many people who live and speak from the understanding of the principles that we teach here, that your thoughts create your reality, that I didn't have to be the one that taught Trey this, but I can be somebody who's in this online group and see the kinds of things that Trey talks about. And I love even, we've disagreed on Facebook sometimes too, and I, the fact that we can engage in civic discourse in a way that's loving and kind and just agree, you think what you think, I think what I think, and let that be what it is. To me, there's just so much beauty and love in that. So I'm incredibly grateful that you are here and that you shared your wisdom in this community. And would love for us to move through conscious giving, which I'm not forgetting this week. Conscious giving. What we're going to do this time is we're going to pray after the conscious giving. I like that a lot of centers, some of the centers that I've been a part of, consciously praise over the money. And I would love for us to do that today, since we didn't have a closing prayer. Seems like it's a good time for a prayer. So I'd love to invite you to speak this giving affirmation and give however it is that you feel called, whether it's financial, whether it is a blessing and some love into the collection as it comes around. Just choose to do what you want to do and let your intuition lead what it is that you choose to give. And I invite you to speak this affirmation with me if you feel so called. I live in abundance. I am filled with abundance. I give from abundance, and it transforms my life. All right, so the prayer for this is going to come after all of the collections have been gathered. So Tasha, actually, I would love if you would come up here for a minute, but first, if you can grab my drum in the back there. And Nina, if you'd like to join me, you are welcome. This is a good call and response. So either you can follow along with me for what it is that I say. Thank you so much. So Tasha, my request for you is there are 2 slides for this. If you could just go to be our slider. Would you like to come up here, Nina? It's up to you. All right, come on up. And again, yeah, whatever, all of it. Electric slide while you slide us in our slides here. Nina, I'm leaving this in here. So it's, again, up to you to sing into it if you want or not. So after this song, I'm going to speak in a prayer. Maybe I'll get on the mic and push Nina on the way. We'll see what happens. So,
if you fall, I'll touch you.
So, I invite you to grab some drums. There's still more in the back there. For those of you who haven't gotten any, you've got 2 more opportunities to drum with us. FYI. How do I want to do this? Yeah, y'all. As Mary Lee has chosen the direction that she feels called to do as we are doing what we want to do today, I am grateful to trust and know that Spirit compelled each one of us to give this to this community in the way that we felt called. Showing up in person, showing up online, providing financially to the financial health and well-being of our spiritual center. I am grateful to trust and know that each experience of giving, Trey's experience of giving the inspirational message, Nina's inspiration to sing along with us. I am grateful to trust and know that we were the right and perfect people to participate in this experience. grateful to trust and know that these funds are used consciously and with love, and that the Leadership Council makes all of the right choices to ensure that the financial and spiritual health of this organization continues to flourish. I'm grateful to know it, to affirm it, and I invite each one of us to affirm this truth together by saying, and so it is.
Thank you, Tasha. Clicking with the best.
Best, yes. All right. Announcements. Yay. All right, so speaking of the Leadership Council that makes these decisions about our finances, we are having a Leadership Council meeting at 3 p.m. today in the conference room, which is right on the other side of the kitchen. Everyone is welcome to join us if you would like. And what else we got? What's going on here? All right, so Making Peace with Your Inner Shit Talker is tonight at 8 p.m. in that same conference room where where the Leadership Council is. And if you've never heard of this, and if you're like, what is it? Feel free. If you are free at 8 o'clock and you're curious and you want more information, feel free to show up, 8 o'clock tonight. Also, What's Up and Why? My cousin and I host this New Thought Media Network series on Thursdays at noon. You can watch it live with us on Thursdays at noon. We're streamed on the New Thought Media Network and all of their platforms. So you can either join us live or you can check out their YouTube page or our YouTube page if you want to check out some previous episodes. Armand and Angelina. I've never actually met Armand and Angelina. They've been here several times.
You will
over the
love
course.
them, Casey.
I hear that I'll love them. Me and Armand are Facebook friends, and I love him on Facebook. So I'm grateful that he follows me and that he reached out and said, hey, I want to do all of these things. He told me that they want to host this native flute play shop, that they want to serve as our speakers and musical guests on the 22nd, and that they wanted to host this magical musical comedy show. FYI, 80% of the love offering goes directly to them to support this experience. This is how Armand and Angelina make it do what it do, is by having these evenings of laughter, music, and heart-opening joy, which happens at the comedy show. And the native flute play shop, a lot of people have expressed interest in this. And I do know that they will be providing flutes, and they will have flutes for sale as well. So you are welcome to join us at any of these events coming up this month. All in this one Armand and Angelina pack-filled week that I am super excited to be a part of. Grateful that they chose us out of everybody in Oklahoma City, even though I've never met them before. That they're like, United Life, this is how we want to spend our week in Oklahoma City. So I'm grateful that they will be here, and all of these things will happen in this room right here. My mom and I, this me and my mommy, taking a picture in her living room. I bought her that book. That shirt. I got that same shirt from the place where I get most of my shirts. Mahogany Mommy, shout out. That's not where this one came from, but that's where I get a lot of my shirts from. So my mom and I hosted a book study on the book The Miseducation of the Negro by Carter G. Woodson in 2020. Me and my mother were going through some things in 2020 as though the country started having this collective conversation about race. I started having conversations with my mom that we had never had before. And I think I read the book, Miseducation of the Negro. I don't even know how it came about that we made the decision to do this book study together. I was living in California at the time, and I went to a conference in Unity Village last year, and somebody who was in that book study said, when are you and your mom going to do another book study? And we had no plans to do another book study. And I said, she said, I will help bring people. That we are super interested. Our community would really like you to host another book study. And I came across this book, Original Sins, The Miseducation of Black and Native Children and the Construction of American Racism, literally in the car. And I was listening to NPR, and the author was on talking about the book. And I didn't even know the book had The Miseducation in the title. I just was like, I don't remember what piece I held on to it, but I immediately, like, the things that she was talking about in this interview were all very eye-opening to me. It was all information that I'd never had about how our education system was founded. And this writer, a black woman from Chicago, like, hits all kinds of my boxes. So I was like, I just need to find this book. And I called every bookstore in Oklahoma City, found one that had it, read the whole thing, and I was like, this is the book. Let's do a book study together. My mom's been very reluctant about it because the themes in it are hard. It is hard to learn about the history of our country and to understand that the way that our education system is currently designed has created the experience that we're living in today. It's a lot easier for us to blame one another for having our belief systems versus blaming the forefathers who constructed the education system that really socialized us all to react and show up in the ways that we do. So I found this book super eye-opening. We're going to be moving through it for 7 weeks, and the website is updated at unitedlife.org. In the blog section, there is information about this book study. There's also information about Armand and Angelina's events, and you can buy tickets for both. You can register for both things through our website. This is the first time we've ever done that, so I'm super excited about our website being up to date and registration and all that jazz. So that's what's going on for the month of June, beginning of July. We might have some more things in July. I'm just not going any further than July 3rd when it comes to announcements. That's what we got going on. All right, so it's time for our closing song. Nina, you want to get back up here? It's up to you. Again, do what you want to do in living color. You know what? I will do the beginning, and then I will. Hey, Tasha, will you come up here and do some more slides for us? I'll do the beginning, and then get on some drums, and we'll sing together. Does it sound good? All right. Here we go. When Tasha gets here, I'll take my time as we sing, so she don't have to run. There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go. Let it all go away. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit from my life. And my heart is open wide. I am only for God. of it. I got most of it. Next week we'll have it. All right, y'all. Have the best week ever. Sean, can you do that picture?